So I've always really wanted to build a deck around the Shift Hades card. It has a really cool ability where it gains +1 lore for each other villain character you have in play. So this means if you have 20 villains in play, this Hades now has 21 lore. You see what I mean? That's pretty fun. This works fantastically with the baby Hades forecast, where you put it into play where you can get one character back from your discard pile and put it back in your hand. So I've decided to pair this Amber Hades with purple, because not only does purple have a whole host of villain cards, a lot of them are really good. So just Maleficent, which lets you draw cards, the 1-drop Maleficent that has 2 lore, the Queen, which lets you draw cards, and then our second build around for this deck, Dr. Facilier. Dr. Facilier has the ability where if your characters get banished in challenges, you can put them back into your hand instead of the discard pile. This lets you use your characters in really aggressive ways for board control, since you know you can get them back to hand and put them back into play next turn. We also have a couple of each of the Jafar cards because they're just both big, bulky threats. I like them. Lanterns here are also really good since they let us lower the cost of our characters when we put them into play. And since we're playing yellow, it would be rude not to have some bodyguards like Simba and Maximus. So here is the high budget version of the deck. It's basically just Rapunzel spiking the value a ton, but I will be honest, she is pretty good here. Since Hades is a tanky geezer, you will be able to heal damage off him and draw cards. However, if you remove the Rapunzels in favour of more copies of the Queen, you can actually build this deck for under $100. So that's a win, right? Let's get to the gameplay though, baby. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Let's have some fun. Alright, so here we go with our game of Lorcana with the Hades deck. I'm actually very excited to play this deck. It just really hits all the rogue deck, you know, what's the word? Criteria in my head, you know, big gazers that can't be removed from play easily, you know, outside Dragonfire. Cool card, Hades. It's cheap as well, you know, I love me some budget decks around here. So this is what it's all about. And I've never actually played my opponent here before. My first time seeing them at Lorcana League, so hopefully this will be fun. Looking at my hand there, it's pretty good. Got a lot of draw options, that's what you want to see. And my opponent's going to ink Hercules bodyguard and then over to me. Now I see a Lilo already, so being able to get that into play early is fantastic. So we'll just ink a Dr. Facilier, Lilo, and then pass it over. Now the version of the list I'm actually playing IRL here doesn't have 4 of the 1-drop 2 lore Maleficent, so I only have 3. And I wasn't going to spend 7 quid to get another one just for this video. So there's actually a couple copies or extra copies of Lilo here than there otherwise should be. So my opponent's going to do a 1 step ahead. Oops, and I had her at 3 ink and I'm only on 1. So my opponent could start to snowball. You know, blue is actually an ink color that could actually deal with Hades rather well, all things considered. So I'm just going to ink a Maximus, and then I'm going to quest for 2. Those dice at the top there will be my lore counters for the game. So unless our opponent has a rush character though, our Lilo should be fairly safe. I guess we could get Fire the Cannons or something, but we're always going to see a Mickey Mouse for free. So our opponent's getting up to 4 ink now. This is actually getting a little bit scary. Our opponent is just having a ton of lore. And looking at their hand as well. That's actually some scary stuff in the hand. So that's what we can do there. Our hand is massive though. The rare time you're going to see ink friends on the other side, I don't know if that was actually correct or not, but you kind of have to get villains into play for this deck to work. So in fact, that probably was wrong. I probably shouldn't have done that. But we are just going to ink quest with Lilo, and then so this is an alright board actually. You know, we should be able to get Hades into play next turn. You know, the baby one. We won't be able to get anyone back unfortunately, but that means we're just 1 step closer to our Shift Hades, which is always nice. We're just going to see a smash. So goodbye Lilo. I was about to say, I don't think that Lilo was long for this world, but she did manage to get 4 lore for us, so you cannot really complain, all things considered. So we are going to get to 4 ink this turn. What we're going to get rid of here, you can't see. We've got a Befuddle. I think it's got to be Befuddle, right? Actually, Befuddle isn't in the list that I've recommended here in this video. I don't think it has a lot of uses in this deck, all things considered. So it lets you return a character with 2 costs back to your opponent's hand, but I don't think it's strictly necessary. So but we are going to get Hades, which has that Well of Souls ability, letting us get back that Lilo. Then we draw 2 cards with friends on the other side. So our hand is looking massive right now. I see a 1-drop 2 Maleficent. I see a Queen. I see all sorts. So we're just going to start slowly working towards. Oh, Fishbone Quill. Opponent's at 6 ink. 6 ink is where stuff starts to get silly. So we're going to see a Tinkerbell and Jesus, 7 ink. Wow, and then a quest for 1 from our opponent as well, I believe. Oh, there's the little, look at that. Look at that, 2. I need to get one of them. That looks fantastic. It makes my job easier, let me tell you. Okay. Back over to my turn now. So I'm kind of worried about that Tinkerbell, actually. Metal Blue is an interesting color combination, which I haven't actually played against before, at least IRL. So it seems interesting. I wonder if they play Bell. You know, obviously, like, you know, you could do Whole New World plus Bell combo. Seems rather strong. Excuse me, I've only just woken up. It's like 8 AM here as I record this. So, oh, look at that! Free. We're paying 3 to get all those in play. Very nice. That's like what, 6 ink next turn, lore next turn, I should say. We're going to quest with anyone though? Probably not, I think. Not with Tinkerbell. The threat of a Tinkerbell looming. So we're just going to friends on the other side for 2. Okay, so we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I think next turn we can shift into Hades if we have it available to us, right? I think. We are going to quest for 1. No, actually, I don't know about that. No, we're going to trade into the Mickey Mouse. Okay. Not bad. So let's see what our opponent can do here. Next turn, we've got a lot of lore coming in. Oh, wait a second. Oh dear, so that Tinkerbell does 1 damage to everyone. So we just got absolutely board wiped there. Oh my goodness. I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's much we could have done about that. I mean, you know. Oh, absolutely disgusting. So all our characters have gone. The good news is at least we have some stuff we can work with. So I think we have Rafiki. Rafiki obviously has a rush. So we could actually remove this Tinkerbell, right? If we slam Maleficent into it and then Rafiki. And I actually think that's kind of worth it. Stop this Tinkerbell from doing anything. If that Tinkerbell's already done enough damage to me, I do not need any more of that. You can take that Tinkerbell straight to the discard pile, please. And looks like my opponents got a bit of a dead hand. They're just going to quest for 2. This is a nice fast game. I like this. So we're actually catching up a little bit here. Well, not catching up, but what have we got in there? So we've got a Queen, which we're going to ink. So to get a Queen in play and over to our opponent. Now the Queen's really cool because the Queen's got 4/5 stats. So our opponent can't just like slam into it, right? Easily. And it lets us draw cards. So after we've been... Oh my goodness. So there was me picking up the Queen. And it just gets let it go straight into the inkwell. But I do think we're getting towards the time where we can get Hades into play. Because I think we're at 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 we are. So we're going to count that up again. And... Oh no. Boom. Big shift Hades. Let's go. Big 8, 6, 7 geezer with 2 lore because it counts himself as a villain. So I believe. Let me check the wording on that. But I believe it should count itself, right? Double check. Oh, each other villain, I should say. So no, tell a lie. Tell a lie. So it only counts as 1. Our opponent puts down that little Tinkerbell again. Gotta be scared. Our opponent's at 11. Our opponent's starting to, you know, get a little bit away with this game. We're going to have to start catching up at some point. You know what I mean? So, what do we have here? We've got a Simba. We haven't really got that much in the hand. We've got the Shift Facilier. What's that over here? I know we've got Rapunzel, but obviously you want to wait to put that down. Oh, so we are going to put down Big Dr. Facilier. Okay. And then Simba as well. Okay. And then I think we're going to have to start trying to do some board removal here. So I think we'll just, slam into the Simba, because I guess Mickey Mouse and Simba both do 1 damage back, but the Simba can actually help out with consistency, so we'll get rid of that. And I think next turn we're just going to start going the offensive, remove our opponent's threats. Our Hades is now worth 2 for what it's worth. Dr. Facilier has 3 lore as well, so we can start trying to catch up. Simba's an interesting one. I think if that Simba banishes someone, the character you gain 1 lore. So we have to try and be careful of that for what it's worth. But I think it only does 3 damage actually, so we should be fairly safe. It looks like we're paying 4 ink for Jafar. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Rapunzel. Heal 1. Very good. Heal 1, draw 1. I probably could have waited maybe to get better value from the Rapunzel. But I think I'd rather just guarantee the draw 1. So it looks like we're going to quest now. So Hades is worth 1, 2, 3. Dr. Facilier is 6. Simba is 7. That was a 7 lore turn, baby. And we are instantly back in the race. So you can start to see the power of Hades. Very, very strong there. Our opponent's going to develop your brain. I love develop your brain. That's one reason why I love playing purple blue. You get to just play 4 develop your brain, 4 Maleficent, 4 friends on the other side. Very nice. So here our opponent's going to start trying to do something, because they can't just be letting our Hades have all these villains in play. But the good thing is we do have Simba sort of blocking the way. Oh no! Oh, the Dr. Facilier. Interesting. Okay. Wow. So let it go is good removal, eh? And then they're gonna quest for 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we're gonna have to start. Yeah, look, opponent's on 15. So we're gonna have to start doing some board wipes here. And the annoying thing is that Jafar gets 1 strength for each card in my hand, and it's a bit counterproductive, right? Because we're not always gonna have cards in our hand. So yeah, but it's 2 lore though. The villain is a 4-cost villain with 2 lore. That's what we've got him in now. Right, let's see what we can manufacture up here. So we're going to play a Hades for 4. Let's just get back a card from our discard pile. So we're going to take a villain, if I had to guess. Dr. Facilier or... Ooh, Rafiki. Rafiki makes sense, because that's going to be some damage removal for us. Or some board removal for us, actually. Simba having 5 costs is interesting. So we're going to have to hit into him with Hades. Rafiki hits into what? It's going to have to be the Mickey Mouse, right? Or Tinkerbell. And then what we're going to use Simba to hit Tinkerbell as well. Scared of that shifting into the big Tinkerbell. So yeah, we are going to remove that. And take 2 back there. And then what are we doing? Hades into Simba. Yep. He'll take 2. 3, so I should say. And then how many cards are in our hand? Could we slam Jafar into... Oh no, it's going to quest with Rapunzel by the looks of it. Yes. Okay. So that slowed down our opponent a little bit. So now we're on, what's that, 10, 15 lore ourselves. So our opponent needs to remove our threats. Otherwise, we win next turn. We can even... Oh, wait a minute. Grab your sword. That's not very good. So that KOs Rafiki, KOs Simba, KOs Hades. Doesn't KO... Hades on the big Hades, thank you, and then doesn't get rid of Jafar. That's what Jafar's there. He's just tanky. 5. There we go. And a fighter cannons. Who's that on? That's going to be on Hades. Was that KO? Yeah, I'm guessing it must have been. Yeah. And then quest for 16 for our opponent. So we went from a win next turn to stuck, a little bit stuck, as it were. So we're on what? Yeah, 15 lore. Okay. Our opponent's on 60, hasn't got any characters into play though, so we still have a couple turns I think to win this. We do take 4 lore this turn, so all we got to do is get as many characters into play as soon as possible. Boom! Another big Hades. Very good. And I think, yeah, we'll just quest. Takes up to 19. I think. It should take us up to 19, right? Yeah. And then, yeah, 8, 6 and a 1. So yeah, all we got to do is just make sure Hades survives. Well, make sure anyone survives, actually, to be honest with you. And I think we have this one wrapped up. Our opponent is just going to quest Mickey Mouse, not much of an offensive threat. And there we go. We wrap that one up. Happy days.